All right, let's get into it. Now, the risk management framework. Now, the risk management framework used to call the CNA, and that is a certification accreditation. Then it changed to A&A process. So when you hear A&A process on the CNA, you know, there are still some of us who are old in the system that we still call it the A&A process or the CNA process. And it's the same risk management framework. Now, when we talk about the risk management framework, what is it about? Now, what NIST did is that NIST 837, they developed 7 steps. It used to be 4 steps under the CNA, then it changed to 6 steps under the ANA. Then now they've added 1 step called the preparation step, and so now there are 7 steps. Now, what they did is that they have developed these 7 steps, and each of these steps, there are things or there are certain requirements that they are requiring that we do. If we are able to do all these 7 requirements, go through that 7 process, then we can be able to go ahead and say that yes, we are in compliance with what FISMA is saying. Now, what are these 7 steps of categorization? And that is where we categorize our system to determine the sensitivity level of the system. Then we select the controls. As we selected the controls, we now have to tailor down the controls and come and implement the controls. Then after the implementation, we go to the assessment of the controls. Then we get authorization for the system, and we do continuous monitoring. I'm sure you are confused now, but don't worry. We're going to go into all these things. I'm going to explain all the terminologies and what we go through. But what the framework is about is that these 7 steps, if you're able to go through these 7 steps, what it does is that it helps you get something we call ATO. And before we go any further, let me remind you, we're going to talk about a lot of terminologies. We're going to talk about a lot of abbreviations. I'm going to talk about SSP, SAR, SADs. So please kindly make sure that you are getting a note specifically for all the terminologies and reminding you. Now, A&A means assessment and authorization. CNE means certification and accreditation. RMF means a risk management framework. And now I have added one more to it that we call the ATO. That is the authority to operate. The ATO is the authority to operate. What does it mean? ATO means that you have been given the certification that shows that this system is okay to go ahead and operate. If you don't have an ATO for a system, the system cannot operate in a federal environment. Every organization or every federal agency needs to make sure that all the systems or all the computer or devices that we have within the environment has what we call the ATO, that is authority to operate. That is why there are a lot of jobs in this field and many people are being getting hired in this. And that is why I want to be able to help you to be able to make that transition into cybersecurity.